So I feel quite inspired right now. And I'm also very self-aware of sitting in front of a camera, all the limitations, all the tension, obstructions, trying to bring something true, but it doesn't work when we try because we already are the transmission, walking right here, right now. And there is no way to access inspiration. Actually, that's what it feels like to me. There is no way. It's just happening sometimes. Sometimes we feel that we open up and the portal, the connection, is accepting our own realness and being true. Just being true to whatever it is we're feeling, whatever it is we're experiencing. And I was just explaining to a friend what it means. I made a post where I said my channel is becoming more clear and this person is helping me with it. And he asked, what does that mean? How is your channel becoming more clear? And I actually don't know, but I know it's true. And I don't know because it has something to do with this paradoxical stance in life where we are in spirit and also spirit is moving through us. And it's just different perspectives that we are in and that we drop into at certain points. And the more time we spend in the higher realms, the more it becomes a real and living experience that there is a oneness, that there is a consciousness which is the source of everything, which moves through us and through everything all the time. And it feels like the more that this experience is being continuously proven, or the more we spend time in that experience of this reality, the more we can also pull this into our state of being and our way of perceiving the world, just in general. So there is some kind of relationship between the practice that we do, the spiritual practices, the places that we visit, the energies we work with in order to rise and get up into that space. But essentially the goal is not to be there. The goal is not necessarily to sit there and be in this highly energetic, intuitive space where everything is one or nothing actually exists. There is some kind of blank canvas in which you can feel the whole universe, and at the same time nothing exists and there's no words to give to it. But it confirms something that we deeply know within, which is that we are an expression of life and life is happening all around. And in some way that is quite a magical thing. And also, on some level, we know that we don't understand it. We know that we don't understand how we came to be, how at some point we didn't exist and then suddenly we are here. It's something that I always keep referring to because it is the thought that first woke me up, like, I have been dead before. I wasn't here. Suddenly I am. And we recognize this life process in different life forms all around us. So it's not only about me waking up, opening my eyes, but I can see that it is happening in someone else that I'm talking to. And I can see that it is happening in a plant or in a bird. Or just in general, I can see that I woke up to a world around me. And as I was saying, we know that there is something magical about this. We know that it is not just plain reality as it is, and then we die. On some level, yes, we do die. For sure, we all die. And that is also what brings the magic more alive. But, how to put this? There is a part of our being that knows that there is something beyond us, basically. That knows we cannot put life into the small box of our own mind, and our own mind will always try to explain life, and our own mind will always make it into something intelligible, make it into something that we can understand. So it puts a logical frame around life. But essentially, the life itself needs no logical frame. It is just alive. And it is a force that moves through us, and it is a force that we can observe in other things in this world. And when we start playing with this force as what guides us in life, that is called inspiration. And this force, this force of life connects us to spirit. It's not different from it. And in a way, I feel like I'm over-explaining it right now. Yeah. It is not so easy to explain. But I'm trying hard. And I'm also having fun with the paradox that I don't need to try at all. And this is what transmission is. I've also been talking about transmission to this person that I refer to. And I told him that transmission is when someone plays music and it allows for someone else to dance. So it's basically a certain energy that a person holds, facilitates for us to have a certain experience of life. And what a guru does, a classic figure in Indian and Asian spirituality, is provide such a strong intensity of energy that naturally other human beings kind of rise in their consciousness and access different realms and start understanding the nature of life from a higher perspective, from a perspective of source consciousness, from the perspective of the consciousness that pervades everything. And that is what Indian, or like wider than Indian, what gurus have developed, this skill of using their own energies and facilitating for other people to be lifted up by that energy and accessing different realms. And it's beautiful because it makes life dance. They're just playing music for themselves, by themselves, in their own unique, innate nature, but the music allows for another person to dance. And in this dance of life, they experience something. They experience being uplifted, they experience joy, they experience that when they move, things look differently. Whatever it is you can experience through dance, they open up in a way that would not have been so easily accessible for them if there weren't any music being played. So I think we all know this effect that music has on us. It's just simply by hearing it, receiving it, that our internal state changes. We become more joyful or maybe more sad, whatever it is, it just does something. And that is the same with energy. And people who are tapped into energies, they don't need to do anything to share that energy. It's like that music is always there. And when people come in touch with them and come closer to them and have interactions with them, they can sometimes feel that music. They can perceive it in some way. And so that is when transmission is happening. A higher frequency is being transmitted to you right now. So in a way, it is super simple. And in a way, it's also beyond me and beyond my own mind and my own understanding, because I cannot actually choose to transmit something to you. It is just that my way of being is inherently related to you. We are always in relationship. And if I choose to anchor myself, my self-understanding, my life in a certain connection to spirit, or in a certain energy, in a certain dimension, if I practice being that, and I can't practice it, but I can consciously orient myself towards it and open myself up to it and make the right decisions that are guided by my intuition, then I become more and more of that. And this will naturally be what I emit into the world. This will be my transmission. And every single person has a transmission, always. A plant has a transmission. My shoes have a transmission. Like, literally everything is transmitting some kind of energy, something through them. And it's funny to think about the example of a shoe, because it makes me see how simple it is. That this spirit, this divine consciousness, the life force that comes from something very mysterious and somehow is in every single thing on this planet, it's even in a shoe. And a shoe can't do much. It can't choose to express. It's not necessarily aware of its own actions and where it's going. It's just being taken around on my foot, and I hope it enjoys it. And actually, we're the same. As human beings, we are like that too. Just a simple manifestation of this divine consciousness, of this spirit that is everywhere, that is everything, that pervades everything. We just don't know it. We're just a little more advanced in our capacities of performance in the world. So a shoe can do many things. It can walk us from place to place. It can contain a foot. It has laces to tie. It has a color. And all of this is part of the transmission of the shoe. It's like the way that spirit or the divine energy chose to embody. It chose to take that form. So now that form is the vessel for the transmission of spirit in a very specific way, in a very specific frequency. And the human being is just that, but then on a very intense, advanced, highly intelligently structured level. So we are shoes being walked around by the Great Spirit, and we just don't know it, or not all of us know it. Until someone plays a little bit of music for us, and something inside of us starts seeing that it is true, that it might be true, that maybe we actually are divine. And maybe we have something within us that longs to understand itself within the bigger picture once again. And to understand yourself within the bigger picture means to understand yourself as the bigger picture. So if you can expand your consciousness quite literally until you embrace the whole universe as yourself, then suddenly that is your experience of life. The whole universe is you. And this can come through us, this perspective, so we can start seeing it, like quite literally observing this as a reality, as a lived experience within our human body that is still limited in time and space. It's still individual. We're not like glued together. Spirit doesn't require for us to be glued together. It's more like all aspects of our being bow down to this reality. and it becomes a lived and practiced experience, understanding, approach, intention, feeling, perception, all the abilities that we have as a human being become oriented towards this and at the same time from this. So from this towards this, the only direction in our life is divinity. The more and more we integrate this understanding that it always is the case, it always has been, and someone has just played a bit of music for us. So that a part of us started dancing that wanted to see itself once again from this wider scope. It feels good to say all these words out loud. And I've been carrying this self-understanding for a long time without actually having the courage to just blast it into the world and be honest about the way I see and perceive things. And now I'm doing it, and the channel is becoming more clear. I'm more able to translate my knowing that I have accessed through practices, through the energetic support of different beings, through visiting certain places. The knowing that has developed is finally becoming a transmission that can work for other people, that can make you dance. And I hope it does. I hope my words make you dance and make something within you dance and make something within you understand that there is more to you. Or you are more. You already are more than you perceive of. And you can start seeking for it. You can start exploring. Or you can just accept it right away and have the experience right then and there in your hand. As I'm talking to you now, you can understand it. I can feel it, even right now. There is more to this. More. Shambho.